What up, though? This your girl, Dubb. Welcome, everybody, to Tarot from Beyond. I am your girl, and tonight we have Spirit Court is in session. I got a few cards right here laid on my board. I hurried up and turned the camera on so we could get rolling and cracking. So we're not going to make this long introduction. So welcome, everybody. Shout out to the 313 Detroit, Michigan is in the house. This is where we are recording this show from. What up, though, all my Michiganders? Welcome, and thank you for joining me. To my subscribers, thank you for sticking with me and being here since day one. Those viewing the content, if it resonates with you, give a sister a thumbs up or become a subscriber, okay? Thank you all for joining me. And if you don't know what we do here at Tarot from Beyond, I am a psychic medium. I'm your girl, E. Okay? And I work with and communicate with the dead or the deceased. And we are doing judgments of the dead. I can't flip that card because I specifically pulled a few cards, and I'll explain in a minute. Okay? Because we're in action. We're in movement. So, if you don't know what we do here, we are doing judgments of the dead. It is a biblical prophecy stated in Revelations chapter 20, verses 11 through 15. We opening these books and more books, okay? So, reference those scriptures if you want to clarify further. Right now, we're going to get cracking to his case. We got a lot of ground to cover. This is a very high-profile person and a high-profile case. So, warning, I do curse on this channel, okay? Alright, so if you're sensitive to that, exit the video. And as well as these cases continue to be violent in nature and are graphic. So, please exit the video if you are sensitive to that as well. Okay? Alright, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoyed the expose of Revelation. If you haven't checked that out, go on the commentary on YouTube or Rumble. Both URLs are in the description box of this video and all the videos, and check out that book that we put together for you here at Tarot from Beyond, okay? So, let's explain a little bit who this person is. These are specific cards on the board because this person right here, okay, this is a mature man in between the ages of 55 and 65 or older. He could be slightly younger, in between the ages of 45 and 55, but he is a mature male in age. He's been lingering around here for about a week or so, okay? And I had to wait for some information to download, and then I had to look him up, okay? I know who of this person, okay? But I didn't know exactly what was going on with him, okay? So I'm going to tell you who this is. This Aquarius man. Right here. This is an Aquarius man. He is deceased. And his story is well known to the older generation, maybe not so much to the younger generation. But he states through this sun card, which means exposure. So he's going to, whatever's going on with him is going to get exposed. Okay? I'm just letting you guys know that now. Okay? And he says through this yellow that he's not nervous. No anxiety. Okay? Because he knows intuition that it's time for judgment. He's ready to confess. Okay. What he says what he sees about himself and the world. Because the world card is here. Like I said, it's very specific cards that I pulled off the top of the deck and stopped here. Okay. He says what he sees in the world, what he sees in himself, what he sees, period. Okay. Sad. And he says it makes him a little angry or mad. He also sees this, yeah. Y'all already know. Okay. Because his judgment is already here as the fire. That's why I said he looking at what he did is sad as well. Okay. His judgment is the fire. Okay. And I will be mad about it too. So we're going to talk to this man. I stopped here, right here. Clearly off rip. He states through that sun card that he was poisoned. Okay. And I believe that. Because of his situation. Like I said, this man is a public figure. He was popular, or his story now is famous. He was a public figure. He was in the public eye. Okay? Alright. So he is well known. Alright? Adontis is already here. There's a young girl here. This is a card, a female in between the ages of 25 or 35 or younger. She could be slightly older, in between the ages of 35 and 45. But she's a younger woman in age. Okay. This could be a daughter, a niece, and okay. I don't know, a cousin, I don't know who. I'm thinking more of a daughter. Okay, she's here solo. But this man does have children. Adontis is looking at it. He does have children. And grandchildren. Alright, so it's time to begin. Let's talk to this man. I already know who he is. Like I said, the usual cards that are here are not here. So, we're going off of what we see. I'm going to leave a few of these cards out. Some stuff is getting exposed on this show. Okay? He's an Aquarius man. He says he was poisoned. He know it. We're going to take our time just because of who this person is. Okay? He said he know he was poisoned. So I'm going to tell you who this Aquarius older gentleman is. Okay? This Aquarius man is Jimmy Hoffa. Okay? He was a... Okay, wait a minute. Cue card. This is just general information and history about this man. Okay? I had to write it down. I can't remember all this shit at once. Okay. Jimmy Hoffa. Those of you who are older may remember this man. Okay, around JFK Nixon era. Okay. However, for the younger generation, you might not know who he is. Okay. A little bit of history about Mr. Hoffa. Okay. He was an American labor leader. Okay. His name was James Riddle Hoffa, or Jimmy Hoffa, who was a labor leader and an advocate for work safety and fair trade. He was the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters from 1957 to 1971. He disappeared, okay, in July 1975 from a restaurant here in Michigan in Bloomfield Township. Okay, and the cops have never recovered his body. They never found him. Okay. So that's his background. That's why they had the cops tearing up Michigan looking for this man. Okay. Remember, this is Lost Souls. And we took a little break because we got some heavy hitters coming in, okay? These next few spirit courts are going to be pretty heavy, okay? Very heavy. So I had to prepare for that and also wait for some information to download about these next spirit courts, which gave you guys a chance to get caught up in what we were doing and learning here. So this is Jimmy Hoffa, the man who disappeared in 1975. Okay. There's claims that he was RIP'd by the mafia, which explains why he said he was poisoned, because he disappeared from a restaurant. Okay. That's why I'm inclined to believe that. Okay. So before we talk to him, shout out to our sponsors to the show. I don't want to leave them out. We thank you for having you guys. Okay. We shout out to Team Tarot, the Paranormal Activity Center, Eastern Michigan University, Paranormal Research and Development Program. You see, I had to write it down. Spiritual Corner and Life After Death Parapsychology Scientific Study Group. Okay, thank you guys for being sponsors to the show. Okay, so let's get it on. Now that you know who this is, okay, his case was a big deal in the news. Okay, and it still is today because, like it states, his body was never recovered. They don't know what the hell happened to this man. He just disappeared. Okay. Out of nowhere. Well, he got a sheet. Okay. And it's extremely long. I'm not playing. So we need to start getting this read off. Warning. What I'm about to read to you is graphic in nature. Okay? And violent. So if you are sensitive to that, please exit the video. Okay? Come on up here. Alright. He said he wasn't nervous. He sure did. He said he not nervous to confess. And some stuff finna get exposed. Some card. Alright. This is James Riddle Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa from the Serpent Bloodlines. He is a Hispanic and Caucasian mixed descent. Okay. He disappeared from Bloomfield, township, Michigan. He was supposedly kidnapped, killed, and his body was dismembered. Okay. You're being charged with ties to organized crime, organizations, mafias, bribery, jury tampering, conspiracy, mail and wire and voter fraud, embezzlement of pension funds from the Teamster. You was sentenced to 13 years in prison in 1967. You was pardoned by Nixon after 5 years. But you're also being charged with spiritual crimes of lying, theft, greed, envy. Also a little black magic. And you are in devil energy, or at least you died in devil energy. That's why you are here. Because we are at a location. Okay? I didn't explain that before. I'll get to it. That's a lot of information here. It says here that you was responsible for starting organized labor union and drive the Democratic, Republican, and Independent voter education for the Teamsters Political Action Committee, which is basically funded by people that they favored for their candidates. Okay, listen, there's a lot of information here. It says that you was kidnapped and killed. We're gonna get into this description of what happened to him. So he states he was poisoned. It was at the top of the deck. He was at a restaurant when he was last seen in Bloomfield Township, Michigan. Okay. Alright. Someone poisoned his food and he was kidnapped from a restaurant. He was later then killed. His body was dismembered by a handler. Okay. His right and left upper lumbar was removed. Right and left arms. Okay. Right and left lower lumbar removed. Right and left legs. His fingertips were removed, all 10 of them. His head was decapitated. His torso was split or cut open from right to left upper torso to neck, chest, abdomen. 5 rib bones on each side, right and left, was removed for all total of 10 ribs removed. His organs were also removed. Heart, liver, ears, eyes, lung, gallbladder, tongue, stomach, large and small intestine, spleen, pancreas, vocal cords, the genitalia, penis, removed, prostate, and testes or balls. Blood was completely drained from the body, and the dermis or the skin tissue was removed from the muscle. Whoever dismembered this man was a surgeon. Okay. Because he was cut into pieces. Okay. And you can't just cut bone or human bones with a regular kitchen knife. Okay. You have to have a certain kind of knife or a saw. It's called a bone saw. Okay. It saws or cuts through human bone and tissue. So his bones were cut using a bone saw. His feet were severed at the ankle and removed. Bones were cut, severed at the kneecaps and groin. Okay. Cuts were made at both right and left shoulder blades and both elbows. Okay. Also, both right and left wrists, hands were removed after fingertips were removed. The torso was split into two halves, right and left upper lumbars. His blood status must be checked. Also, your bloodlines must be checked on Earth and Saturn. You have mixed blood for types or for bloodlines. You have a rare blood type. Okay. You have serpent bloods, reptilian bloods, Negro bloods, and African bloods. Okay. You also have family members eligible for rebirth. 21 family members. 7 members in Puerto Rico. You have 9 members in the USA, 5 members in Canada. And I don't mean to disclude Puerto Rico. Is an American province, okay? It is an American territory. However, it is separate from the mainland, okay? So when I call Puerto Rico out on its own outside of the U.S., that's just because it's not here in the mainland, okay? But Puerto Rico is a U.S. province. It is a U.S. territory, okay? Wait a minute. This is sad. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. So he has family members eligible for rebirth, 21 family members in total, 7 members in Puerto Rico, for 9 members in the USA, and 5 members in Canada. This is symbolic here. It was written here. I don't know. What is this? This is symbolic. It's on his sheet. His body parts were scattered across state lines, multiple state lines, okay? So his head and right side, torso, upper lumbar, lower lumbar, upper right femur it's in a location. Oh my God. So whoever dismembered this man had some of his body parts scattered across several state lines. Okay. And Dante's find this man, put him together. So his head was removed from the torso here. Okay. His incisions are like this and split into 2. Severs here and here. So his head, right side, torso, upper lumbar, lower lumbar, upper right femur. Where is it? Odontus. It was dumped in Indiana. Thank you. Also, his left side torso, upper lumbar, and genitalia, penis, lower lumbar, upper left femur was dumped. Now, there was a card here. I was going to use it, the city card, for this, but the world card popped up because it's going to be the end of a cycle. They will no longer have to look for this man, okay, or wonder about what happened to him. It's getting exposed today, okay. He was poisoned at the restaurant, killed, or he could be killed by the poison or killed another way. I honestly, just writing this out grossed me out. So I really don't. His cause of death is by poison to me. Okay. His left side torso, upper lumbar, genitalia, penis, lower lumbar, upper left femur is in Michigan. Thank you, Adontis. His upper right lumbar, lower right arm, ulna and radius, and left hand with no fingertips. Where did they place that? This is in Ohio. And the last one I do is in Kentucky. Thank you, Adontis. The last one is Kentucky. His upper left lumbar, lower arm, ulna, and radius, right and right hand with no fingertips. Is in Kentucky, or was dumped in Kentucky. It was there. His body parts were severed, dismembered. Okay, after the removal of the skin, and then specific parts of his units were discarded in different states. I just gave you the states. Now, I'm not going to give you exact location because I don't want y'all on a witch hunt looking for this man's bones. Okay. Y'all know what happened to him. We about to dig into this some more. This right here is graphic. Also, it says that the soft body tissue or organs, the eyes, stomach, the dermis or the skin tissue, liver, intestines, small and large, spleen, lungs, heart, gallbladder, ears, tongue, vocal cords, pancreas, prostate, and the blood that was drained from his body were either eaten or discarded by fire. Okay. This man right here, Jimmy, his soul, spirits, whatever you want to call it, was placed on a planet roar wall in the star cluster or constellation Cassiopeia in the star coordinates 43321. It's a spiritual housing unit for lost souls. That's what we dealing with. Okay. Thank you, Adontis. I have have a splitting headache, so you gotta excuse me if I'm moving slow. You know who this is now. You know what happened to him. You know why you can't find his body. It was cut into little bitty pieces, and his body parts were scattered across state lines and or eaten or discarded by fire. Let's talk to this man. Off rip. I'm going to look at your blood and your family's bloodline. It's right there. Where do you want to put it? Okay. The doctor's going to look at your blood. For those who are new, red and reverse is blood. Whoever RIP'd you is a dangerous person. And or it could have been a group. And your charges of envy are here. I ain't even have to ask. Are you sure? Yeah. The organization that RIP'd this man. I'm gonna come under fire. Okay? I'm gonna come under fire. Because this could be me too. I'm in this group age. Remember, the sun card was at the top of the deck. He finna tell you who RIP'd him. Thank you, Most High. Don't let me walk in this fire by my damn self. Ew. Who RIP'd him? He finna tell you. Y'all exposed today. Y'all asses is exposed today. Some type of law, police, organizations, law official. This could have been judge, popo. It could have been anybody fucking with the law. Outside, he said he was poisoned. I'm blind. A doctor's looking at your blood. Because you got African and Negro blood. However, your strongest traits are the serpent and reptilian blood, specifically serpent. So you are mixed bloods. So light complected, pale complected white man, Hispanic and Caucasian descent. What is he? What is it? Sicilian? What is that? Italian? I just said your family roots back to the old country of Sicily and Spain. So his dominant traits are the serpent on reptilian. He'll be going back to Saturn if he can rebirth. The Most High sees your detachment. Here from spirit. Back to this. One time he was butchered. He said because he did some unwise things. He's also in devil energy. There's a hate in his heart. He said he was chasing power. That's usually how it goes. And anytime you chasing power, it's gonna find you. Or you gonna find it. And he sure did. This man was a big opposer to the presidential election or running of JFK. He was an opposer because remember the committee, one of the committees that he started would fund their favorite candidates. So he funded, mostly like through the Teamsters, Nixon. Nixon also pardoned him. He had a 13-year bid and he only did 5 years. I said you cheated the system, lucky dog. I said you non-traditional. You looking at this devil energy you in. He says that he respects the courts. His blood is pure. Thank you, Adonis. He doesn't have a weird strand of DNA. I figured that. He said he had many enemies because of stolen money, which is on his record. He had embezzled some money from where he was working or the job that he was working. No, he's not under the possession. Hold on just 1 second. I'm trying to help you. Give me a minute. I'm trying to look at this stuff. And I'm just looking at your dad or a grandfather. Everything stated so far have been the truth. This particular organization here, they work with organized criminals, okay? And or you could consider this organization or one of them to be an organized crime unit, okay? It is organized and it is criminalistic, okay? So not only is this particular organization criminal, but it also works with somebody don't want me to talk. But they also work with mob bosses, crime bosses. Okay. Not in particular, but okay, Sicilians do have a reputation for being in the mob. So I believe the mob ties. He doesn't have a goal. Yeah, he hurt someone. Yeah, he was scattered all over the country. Corrupt politicians. Okay. And this corrupt ass organization is corrupt. I can't make it up no matter how you put it. Okay. And they know that shit. You gotta get them damn snakes up out of here. It's terrifying. What say you, Most High? Yeah. Yeah. His theft, envy. There's also pride yeah, I guess so. There's also pride on your record. He's asking for a phone call. That's all he kept saying is he wanted the political power. He wanted, and he was being corrupt to get it as well. Well, you know, when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. These right here is an issue. These crime bosses. Okay. What the fuck did I say? They work with them. Okay. That's why I said you can call this organization organized crime. I believe that because they intend a lot of these big wig public figures tend to get assassinated by their own people. They killed Lincoln, they killed JFK, they killed Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? These people are not killed by vigilantes. These people are killed by people that organize these hits. Okay? Although the person may not be an exact police officer or military or a law enforcement agent. Okay. These people will pay money to have somebody do this to them. Okay. Yeah. Because they corrupt. They all about control. And now it's to the point where this agency is out of control with doing this stuff. They out of control. For real. Look at all this red on the boards. They out of control. Okay. Mainly because, especially here in the United States, this organization tends to be thrived on corruption, intimidation, manipulation, bribery, which is one of your charges. Looking at your family on both Earth and Saturn. Okay. Most I said he gonna rebirth you. He said he gonna give you time served. Okay. Because you were so brutally murdered. Okay. But he wants you to remember this next time you come, when you get rebirthed, you going to Saturn, honey. He wants you to remember this next time you decide to work with some criminals organizations. Okay. I'm not saying not to trust the police. Okay. We need to teach our officers of the law. Okay. Good relation between officer and people. Okay. They don't, and mainly one thing is because these cops don't know the law. Okay. That's why I suggested before that before you graduate from the police academy, one of the requirements in the program should be for you guys to at least take a few law classes. Okay. So you can know the law. So it'll be harder for you to ignore it. Okay. You have no problem ignoring and breaking the law now because you don't really know what the law is. Okay. That's why police brutality and cops not knowing what they doing come in all races. Okay. Right. That don't have nothing to do with racism. These fools don't know the law. Okay. Bottom line. That's why they corrupted. That's why they easily bribed. That's why they work with criminal organizations. Okay. What I say? I can't make this up. believe this wholeheartedly. All because, for one, I'm experiencing this shit myself. Because the people that's messing around with me are the fucking popo. When I figured out that, I stopped being scared of them and started exposing their ass. Y'all is exposed. So this organization right here was working with the mob to RIP this man. Whether that has ties to the Democratic side with JFK, because like I said, him and JFK, they didn't really get along. Or it was the Nixon side, because after Nixon pardoned him, he did kind of beef with his ass too, the Republicans, because after he got out of prison from his pardon, he was no longer able to regain his position as this leader, this trade leader. Or it could have been an independent contract that worked for the government. Either way it go, he was killed by a law official, and the incisions made and the cuts made on his body were made by a leader or a person that knew what they was doing. It was a doctor. You could say an autopsy was performed, but I really doubt it. Whoever dismembered this man knew what they were doing. Okay. And it was a younger man that was paid to poison this man. Oh, thank you, Most High. Whoever prepared this man's food was paid to do it. Thank you, Most High. However, your blood is pure of a STD. You wanted a phone call. Who you want to talk to? Yeah. This young man, it could have been a cook, a waiter, whoever was at that restaurant, was paid to poison this man's food. Probably to knock him out, get him into a car so they could do whatever they needed to do. So he did disappear from the restaurant. Who you want to talk to? He said he got his daughter has grandbabies. He does have a son as well. I'm not sure if the son has children or not, but this is specifically popping up. He wants to speak to his daughter and grandbaby, or grandbabies of his daughter. What you want to tell them? Your charge of greed and pride. He said he made the wrong choices. how he can't be there for you guys like he wants to. This is in reverse. He said, be like him. Stay clean. You won't get no karma. He said he is at peace with his judgment. What's his judgment? Not one word. He said he's not afraid, and for his family not to be afraid. Once I asked if you confess all your memories, called his father. And I just was looking at your dad or grandfather figure. You got a great grandfather that has African. You also got a great grandfather that was Negro black. Thank you. He said that he wished that he could have been a father to a grandfather to his kid or grandchildren. Understand? Anything else? He wanted to tell his grandbabies, his daughter, and his son, because he is here now. Okay. So his kids and they kids. Okay, his kids and his grandbabies. Don't cry. He's gonna be alright. No matter what his judgment. Yes, one side he confessed his memories. He told the truth. Yes, he did. You got a phone call. Alright. He loves y'all, man. Everybody is here. Everybody is here. Mother, his children, his grandchildren, his children, his dad. He loves you guys. Once I said get out, he gonna rebirth you. Okay. You gonna go back to Saturn on a star. Our angel gonna take you there. Once I said You need to work on your detachment from spirit. He also is rebirthing you because you racked up a karmic debt messing with that embezzlement, and you got to pay that shit off. You got to work this debt off. Okay. There's no conflict, no hate in your heart or your record. And he looked into your past life. Fair judgment. Man, judgment is fair. Probably got this upside down. It looked like it. This supposed to be right sided. But fair judgment. Okay. His judgment is fair. They all rebirth you back to Saturn. And yeah, fair again. Fair judgment. Legal. Balance scale. You better not do this slow ass shit no more. I know that. He got you a phone call. Don't be out here chasing no powers no more. Sit down and take care of your family. He says thank you so much. Thank you for helping him rebirth. Orange right here is communication with action. He said it right now. Thank you. I appreciate you for what you did for me. You are more than welcome, Mr. Hoffa. You are free to go. The doctor's going to take you back to Saturn. I'm going to have a dentist take you. The dentist already looked up your family on Saturn. He knows exactly what house you belong to. I didn't write that down. It was too much other information for me to be worried about that. And we're already over an hour into this judgment. So, our dentist knows where you're going. Okay, you got a chance to make a phone call to your family. He gonna take you back to Saturn. All right. On the star. This been another one from your girl. Y'all know who Jimmy Hoffa is. You know what happened to him now. Who and how he was RIP'd or murdered. Please do not go on a witch hunt looking for his remains. Okay? Case solved and dismissed. This has been another one from your girl, Dubb. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, and light. Deuces.